Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah.
On lottery tickets. Some of that went to players in the form of jackpots touching record highs of $1.6 billion, and another hefty portion of it was funneled back to state governments. In fact, the lottery has long been the government's go-to when it comes to shoring up extra cash. America's lottery history goes back a couple hundred years, and it's actually credited with building the country.
Lotteries were actually part of the revolutionary times in America. George Washington's army was founded by a lottery. Harvard, Yale, and Princeton were founded by a lottery. In those days, you had roads and bridges and schools and even churches who were often founded by lottery dollars raised.
After the Civil War, a powerful Protestant movement pushed to outlaw various vices, like obscenity, drinking, and gambling. It worked. By 1878, all states had banned lotteries except Louisiana, which held out until 1895. Though Puerto Rico started up a lottery in 1934, the income tax system largely filled the void across the continental United States until 1964, when the first state-run lottery started up in New Hampshire as a way to augment state coffers. By the 80s, states started to band together to form multi-state lotteries to generate those big cash prizes we've grown accustomed to. And as of 2019, 44 states participate, plus the District of Columbia and the U.S. Virgin Islands. To be clear, the modern-day lottery is an umbrella term that encompasses any type of gambling operated by the state. That includes everything from scratch-offs to draw games. The lotto is the game that almost always offers the biggest jackpot. You're probably familiar with the country's two biggest multi-state lottos, Powerball and Mega Millions. That's what we're going to be focusing on. Both Mega Millions and Powerball started in the 1990s, though Mega Millions went by a different name back then. Mega Millions and Powerball prizes used to hand out jackpots as low as 10 to 12 million bucks. Even though the top prize was handed out more often, the prizes were relatively underwhelming and led to jackpot fatigue. But now, both jackpots automatically reset to 40 million, they're handed out a lot less often, and the top prize can grow to highs of over $1.5 billion.
So we see how this lottery is one of the foundations of how these dragons run their system. You know, a lot of the institutions in their system was built on lotteries. And so we know that if you go to the billionaire map, it shows you just in America alone all of the billionaires, and a lot of them say they were self-made, but a lot of them was inherited, meaning they was born into this situation. Their bloodline dictate how much money they gonna come into. You know, all these corporations that started in the time of slavery, like Ciroc and all these liquors, started in the 1800s. Them individuals had children, and their children, due to their bloodline, they won a lottery due to the bloodline. Okay, when you go into these elites, that's in England, the Queen's children, them people inherited money and riches through the bloodline. They inherited heaven through the bloodline. This is their heaven because of their bloodline and their family. You see, so it's going what we saying is going to happen in our kingdom, and due to our bloodline, it's happening now to these dragons, and due to their bloodline that they was born into. You can name the Bushes, the Bush family. Their children came into riches due to their bloodline. Inheritance is what runs the world, not these people try to act like they self-made and it ain't got nothing to do with their bloodline. No, your bloodline is the reason that you got some kind of riches in this world. Even the athletes and people that's doing anything that's powerful in this society, they doing it because of their bloodline. You see, LeBron James ain't just jumping the basketball because he had some skill. No, his bloodline got him in there. His bloodline helping him be who he is. Now, going to these people that's running the world, say the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, and they pretty much get all their riches as a bloodline, because the wicked is a bloodline. And so how you know the earth, who running the earth is the wicked. When you go to Malachi chapter 1 verse 4, it tells you straight up that the nation of Edom is the wicked. But when you look at the situation when it comes to the blessing of riches, now and you go to Genesis 27, it spells out who was going to get a blessing. It said Jacob was going to get a blessing. Then it said Esau was going to get a blessing. Because when you go to 27 verse 34, it says, when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, my father. So when you jump over to to 37, he started at 37. He said, and Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. So right then, he quoted how he was going to give what blessing he gave to Jacob. He told Esau, man, I done gave Jacob this kind of blessing. So Esau already knew the kind of blessing that he was giving to this, giving to Jacob. So when you get to 38, he's saying, Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? That's letting you know it ain't going to be just one blessing. Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. And in the Jewish Bible, it says the richness of the earth, and of the dew of the heaven above. Verse 40. And by thy sword thou shalt live. So right there, he told him, you gonna have riches on the earth, and you gonna get a blessing, to get to the point of the matter. Now, to confirm that Esau got a blessing, because some of these people try to change the Bible and say that he didn't get a blessing, that he was going to live away from the richness of the earth. Well, that ain't what Hebrews say. When you go to Hebrews 11, verse 20, it say, by faith Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come. So both of them got a blessing. Nobody did not get a blessing. Then when you go to Genesis 36, it lets you know that both of them got a blessing, because 36 say, now these are the generation of Esau, and who is Edom. So you jump down to verse 7 and say, for their riches were more than that they might dwell together. So they had so much riches, they had to separate. He said, and the land wherein they were strangers could not bear them because of their cattle. So these individuals, Esau and his children, they were so rich they had to move out of the place where they was at, because they were just getting too rich, because God had blessed them and told them that you gonna be the richest people on the scene. So when you go to Job, Job 9:24, Job was living in the land of Edom. Because in Genesis 38, verse 28, Genesis 36, Salakia. Genesis 36, verse 28, it tells you that the Uz, where Job lived, was a son of Edom. And so they named this land, when you go into Job 1, it said there was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job. So Job was living in the land of the Edomites. Then when you go to chapter 9, it say the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. That means the dew of the heaven and the richness of the earth was given into the Edomites. And so these people inheriting their blessing from Esau. Esau had the blessing. And see, that's why vocab try to talk about Balaam had a false dream or prophecy, because he know that's killing his whole theology that he's trying to create. Because it tells you in Numbers 24 lets you know who was going to get the first blessing. Get the blessing first. He says in starting at 24, Numbers 24, verse 20, saying when he looked on Amalek, that's the grandson of Esau, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. So he's gonna be the first of all the nations to rule the whole earth. Amalek, the children of Esau. The children of Esau won a lottery ticket just for their bloodline. They didn't have to, we have to believe on Christ. They didn't have to believe on nobody. They got a blessing due to their bloodline. They was born into the blessing. And so they hit a lottery ticket. They got the golden ticket. Like on Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory. They got the golden ticket, the blessing. The Greeks was ruling. God was even fighting for the Greeks. Angels came out the sky and was fighting for the Greeks. Make sure Esau was going to get this blessing. The Romans, Esau, they was going to get this blessing. America helped them come up with the nuclear bomb. And you go to Isaiah 54:16, it lets you know I created these weapons. Any weapon that's being created, I created it. So Esau can get his blessing to live by the sword. When you go to Romans 9:17, Romans chapter 9, he lets you know what he did to Esau. 9:17, he said, for the scriptures said unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. So he said, when he told him he hated Esau, right after he said he hated Esau, he let everybody know that he raised Esau up. He gave Esau this blessing and raised them up. So when he take them down, everybody gonna know the power of God. Because Esau gonna be so powerful. He gave him the whole earth. The earth was given to Esau. And the Edomites, his children, due to the blessing. They're the most powerfulest people on the earth right now. They're living in pure heaven. The places that they go, most people ain't even seen these places with their eyeballs. The gold that they possess, you people don't have an idea of how much gold they possess. They got a whole space station up in heaven. They living in heaven. They can go up there and spend time up in the heavens, in the sky you can't even see with your eyeballs. And they like the eagle, they can see everything moving. So they got the ultimate blessing, man. They so prideful that they think they God. He done raised them up so high. They done been convinced that they are really God. And anything come against them, they gonna battle it like they God. So these people are born into the blessing. If you are homeless, Edomite, you a 2-time loser, man. You chose to be a loser. You rejecting your bloodline just like that Esau did. But the ones that don't reject their bloodline, their birthright, them sapsuckers gonna be filthy rich around here, billions of dollars, millions of dollars. They don't live by no law and no code. They can be a millionaire anytime. Most serial killers and people that's doing these crazy things, they'll tell you, man, I had money. What the guy Charles Heston or whatever, not Charles Heston, but the crazy one that went to prison. He let you know, man, I had money, so much money, it's ridiculous. Money don't do nothing for them. They start wanting to do crazy stuff, kill up a bunch of people, and do wickedness. Wickedness turn them on. They don't care about no money. So your bloodline as a Edomite, that's the lottery ticket. So how when the Negroes who has been in bondage for forever say that they through their bloodline they gonna get a blessing, they gonna come into their blessing because it's due to their bloodline. It's just so so ridiculous. But I'm gonna leave it there. All praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. By Shimmy Kakadash, double honor to the elders pushing the truth worldwide. Peace to the elect worldwide. The kingdom is at hand. Shalom.